Okay. All right, Mom, what were your parents like?
Oh. Where do I begin? Dad was a very gentle-spirited man with a very sweet sense of humor. He had like a little kind of an Irish dry sense of humor, but he would always get us laughing. A gentleman, always a gentleman. He taught us and taught my brother especially the value of a good handshake, and he loved your dad because when he met him, he gave him a good firm handshake.
Nice, Dad.
That's important. And look in the eye.
I always taught the boys that too.
Yeah.
And Amanda. Yeah.
That passes on.
Yep.
And he loved music. He and my mom met dancing. They were at a little dance hall.
That's right.
And they met dancing.
Yeah.
And then Mom was just a little spitfire. She was she was a petite little lady, 5'2", eyes of blue, and just worked in the Detroit Public Library from the time she was about 16 years old on. And
was it that long?
yeah, she just loved that, loved reading, loved books. Had quite important jobs at the Detroit Public Library. Actually, she was one of their main ladies up that welcomed people to the library and in the executive offices. That was where she was at one point. She also worked in publications and exhibits there, and taught us all the love of reading and love of good books. And you see, her thing was, if you can read, you can do anything. So that's kind of where we got it. But they were actually a good pair. They really were.
Yeah. So, but at 16, what did she do? Like at the just restock books
restock
and stuff?
books and help check people out and what have you.
So she was working there in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought she went there after college because she went there for librarian science or something, right?
No, she never went to college. No.
Oh, she didn't?
No.
Was that Jane?
Jane graduated with a library science degree.
I didn't know Grandma never went to college.
No. Well, and back in the day, back when my mom graduated, high school would be equivalent to what college was by the time my sister.
Okay.
We've dumbed down our education so much that
big time.
Our kids today can't even speak correctly.
Right.
So, when she graduated, she got a very good education and was more than willing to be able to work in the Detroit Public Library.
Right.
Yeah. Different day.
Yeah, very much so. She was a hard worker, too.
Mm-hmm.
Hard worker?
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, Dad, what were your parents like?
My dad was a very easy guy to get along with. He worked for a company called Natona Mills in Dallas, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And he worked there for 24 years.
What kind of place was that?
It was a textile place.
Okay.
Textile.
Like
he used to bring a lot of muslin home.
Yeah.
Now muslin is a kind of
that fabric.
Yeah, fabric.
Cheesecloth type of thing.
And he used to give a lot of it to missionaries back then.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was a pain in the ass. She was. Oh, really?
We're going to play that at your funeral.
Sorry.
Hey, I like it. It's raw. I like it. This is raw. All right, so she could be a pain in the ass. I get it.
Yes. She was really a pain. I don't know how to explain her.
And like why? Like what would draw you to that conclusion?
She was very obstinate.
Okay.
Very
So
obstinate.
it's kind of difficult to get along with.
Yeah.
She was more dogmatic.
Okay.
She really truly believed things, and she would stick.
Well,
to
I
it.
encountered that with her, like with finances and stuff. I kind of got into it with her when I was a teenager a little
Really?
bit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean respectfully, but I was frustrated with it. Yeah, because she was very set in her way on it. Like,
Very much so. Yeah.
so I get that.
And
But she loved the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she did.
Mm-hmm.
and
She's very faithful.
She was very faithful, and people loved her. Her church people loved
Yeah.
her because she'd stand up for you. That's what you always knew where you stood with her.
Right.
You know, you didn't have to guess.
Okay. Yep.
She was good that way.
Okay.
Yeah, she was a good woman.
Did she ever have a job outside of the home?
Yeah, she worked for I don't know if you know this, Margaret. She worked for a lady by the name of Booker.
Okay.
And I worked for her too. I
Okay.
cut her lawn.
Okay.
And but she used to house clean for her,
Okay.
and
didn't know that.
in Dallas, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And I think it was they were very wealthy.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And so anyhow, they she used to work for them, and you know that's a little bit about my mother.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
One thing I should say is back to my mom and dad too is my dad was sick when he was a little boy. He had rheumatic fever.
Mm-hmm. That's
Which-
right.
Yeah, and he lost his mom when he was like 8 years old, and
Why did he lose her? Yeah, that's right.
She
I remember
died.
that vaguely.
I don't know what she died of. They said tuberculosis of the kidney or something.
Yeah.
And could have been cancer. I mean, they didn't know what to call things back then.
Sure.
But she died quite young, and then his dad remarried, and so the brothers and the sisters that had a hard time accepting the new mom and a stepsister, and there's a lot of things going on there. But that was. And then later on in life, he developed rheumatic heart disease, which then caused him to have open heart surgery back in the 60s. So that was another little thing about that. Plus, with Mother, too, she also worked at a place called Information Coordinators and did music bibliographies and labor relation abstracts, and which I worked for them as well. But she did editing there, and so and her picture is in the encyclopedia under library, because they needed somebody to model, as they would have the section under library. They wanted her there, like doing research, and so they had a picture of her because she was quite attractive.
Yeah.
So they did that. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Oh, that's right. Oh, good stories.